Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us today. You know, the Fugitive Safe Surrender Program, sponsored by the Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine, takes place June the 25th through the 28th in Akron. The coordinator, Robert Davis, and the associate pastor, Herman Matherson of the House of the Lord in Akron, are here to talk about the program, which allows individuals with active felony and misdemeanor warrants to turn themselves in. Later on, we'll hear from Terry Pontremoli. She'll tell us what to expect at this year's Tri-C Jazz Fest. And later on the broadcast after that, Mary Kay Maculin and Gail Haverdill will tell us about the annual Purple Stride Walk to benefit the Pancreatic Cancer Network. Good morning, everybody. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and we are so glad to have you with us. And so we begin. Beginning right now with Bob Davis, seated right next to me. He's Fugitive Safe Surrender Coordinator with the Office of the Ohio Attorney General, and the Reverend Herman Matherson, who's Associate Pastor at the House of the Lord Church in Akron. Good to have you both with us.
It's our pleasure.
Tell me about, what is this Fugitive Safe Surrender program?
The program was initially incepted by the U.S. Marshal Service. It started actually here in Cleveland back in 2005, and it's really an officer safety program. When Officer Wayne Leon was killed in Cleveland, the U.S. Marshal, Pete Elliott, for the Northern District, said there's got to be a safer way. So he said, how do we get people to eliminate these encounters and turn themselves in?
To surrender to authorities if they've got warrants on over their heads.
That's correct. And he said, you know, if we could get them to come to a church, which is the heart and soul of the community, you know, they would feel safe there. And so they partnered with the church here in Cleveland, and it began. In 2010, the Marshal Service defunded the program, and Marshal Elliott asked Attorney General Mike DeWine if he would pick up the program for the state of Ohio, which we've done.
Yeah.
And this is now going to be the 5th program that we have run in the state of Ohio.
You're doing this one in Akron, and we are dealing with Summit County warrants.
Summit County warrants.
Summit County warrants.
Absolutely.
The House of the Lord Church there on Diagonal Road is where is involved. Your associate pastor there, Reverend Herman Matherson.
Yes.
Why did the church decide to get involved in this?
Well, the church, we're part of the community. We're in the community. We want to be a part of it. We want to be able to provide people a safe haven to get their lives turned around, to get them to be in a safe environment. Since we have credibility in the neighborhood, that what we say we were going to do is in fact what we're going to do. So it gave us an opportunity not only just to be in the community, but to partner with law enforcement, social service agencies, to give a full, broad spectrum of assistance to the members of our community in Summit County.
And I would imagine to kind of help the people along, also try to get their lives spiritually back in line so that they don't have warrants hanging over them the next time.
Absolutely. We have some legal barriers about what we can and cannot talk about, of course, but we can still live it out.
Yeah, we can live it out.
Yes.
Yeah. How many people are you expecting, have you, in the past, have turned themselves in, and what kind of warrants are we talking about?
In 2007, we had 1,125 people took advantage of the program. In 2009, we had 1,350. And certainly we're looking to hit those numbers, if not more. We're looking at misdemeanor warrants, low-level felonies, those people who really want to take responsibility for what they've done, because I have to point out this is a responsibility program, not an amnesty program. When they come in, they're going to see an attorney, they're going to see a prosecutor, they're going to see a judge, and they're going to take responsibility for what they've done and take the first step towards a second chance.
You're kind of telling them, turn yourself in, don't let us come get you, because then it's a whole different ballgame if we got to come get you.
That's true.
The warrants on. By the way, the church, the House of the Lord church is located at 1650 Diagonal Road in Akron. This is going to be June the 25th through the 28th. 1650 Diagonal Road in Akron, the House of the Lord, June 25th through the 28th. Should people, do they have to contact any office or just show up?
They can show up those days between 9 and 5. We will process them in. We will check them to see what warrants they have. We will assist them with getting through the process. It's a one-stop shop, if you will, to get your life turned around.
What do you envision out of all of this, Reverend Herman Matherson of the House of the Lord Church? What do you envision? What do you need to see happen in the lives of these folks?
Well, what I envision to see is what we've seen in the past, is people walk out a lot lighter than when they walked in. They don't have to look over their shoulders anymore. They can move on with their lives. They can get the employment that they want. They can go back to school if they like. They can get their driver's license if they like. Many things that we all take for granted because of the warrants these people do not have access to. They can stop running now. They can take care of their families. They can create a different legacy for their families. They can be a model for their children and their grandchildren about being responsible and taking care for themselves. And that's a win-win for everybody.
That guilt can be a heavy thing
Oh,
in the middle of the night, laying in bed, knowing somebody's looking for you.
It's tremendous. It's tremendous when you're always looking over your shoulder and you're suspicious of everything and everybody.
I'm going to give a phone. Can people call this number, get more information on what we're talking about, although we pretty much laid it out?
Yes, they can.
They can call this number of 877-647-8773. That's a toll-free number.
That's
and they
correct.
can get more information on exactly where you can surrender. If you're in, this is Summit County only.
Summit County only.
Summit County only, and if you've got a warrant hanging over you. Now, if it's a heavy warrant hanging over you, can they still turn themselves in? Well, you would love them to surrender too, right?
If someone comes in and turns themselves in and they have a warrant that can't be dealt with at the church, we will see that they are appropriately handled, and consideration, such as it is, will be given for their turning themselves in.
But these lower level warrants is really what we're looking at, and you've had hundreds, thousands of people turn themselves in.
That's true.
Over the years in this. Okay, once again, it's going to be June the 25th through the 28th. The House of the Lord Church, 1650 Diagonal Road, starts at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, it does.
And goes until?
5 o'clock in the afternoon.
And it's a good thing to do, to get this legal monkey off your back.
Absolutely.
Or at least deal with the legal monkey. You don't get it off
Please,
your
if you
back.
have a warrant in Summit County, turn yourself in.
And get that spiritual...
And get it right.
Get it right. I love the way you guys are working together. I love this. I love the way it's working together. All for the benefit of folks out there who may be in trouble and need to turn their lives around. Many thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Davis, Fugitive Safe Surrender Coordinator for the Office of the Ohio Attorney General. Reverend Herman Matherson, Associate Pastor of the House of the Lord. Many thanks for being on the broadcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Going to take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. The annual Tri-C Jazz Fest kicks off Thursday, June the 26th. Director Terry Pontremoli is here to tell us what to expect at the Tri-C Jazz Fest 2014. Hey, Terry.
Nice to see you.
Oh, good to see you as always.
It's always great to talk to people who like jazz.
Oh, you always got a great show, and I bet you've got a great one this year as well.
We do. This is our 35th anniversary, and for the first time, this festival is moving out of the rainy, damp April and going into the light of the day in June. And the lovely part of it is that it's all condensed. It's all downtown at Playhouse Square. People can go to concerts at the Palace, the Ohio, and the Hannah. And then outdoors on US Bank Plaza, there's going to be free music all day long on Friday and Saturday from 3 until midnight, courtesy of the Cleveland Foundation.
Why did you make the change from the month of April to the month of June?
It's, I think it's time. If we wanted to do something outdoors, we never could do it in April. And it's really great to have something that's kind of condensed and feels more like an event, and also makes Cleveland more of a destination point for those people that like to travel to different festivals.
And you're going to really have it going. The music will be hard and driving, or soft and mellow, whichever the way they want to play it at Playhouse Square.
Yes, we have everything going on. We have Trombone Shorty, we have John Schofield. If you like Brazilian music, we have Eliane Elias.
Oh, I love it.
Christian McBride is our artist in residence. He is simply put one of the best jazz bass players out there, and he's going to work with the Cleveland Jazz Orchestra. They're going to play his band music, but he's also going to play with his trio. He's just really a swinging, you like your music in 4/4 swinging hard.
I do.
He's the guy. Yeah. And Dave Cause is going to be here, and Marcus Miller, and Dave Holland, and Terry Lynn Carrington. So we have a really wonderful stuff inside. The stuff inside is wonderful. Outdoors, it's also really varied. We'll have Lafayette Carthon doing some gospel. We'll have Bethesda doing what's kind of called hipster hootenanny. We're going to have horns and things.
Hipster hootenanny. Now, that's a new one for me.
I know. I thought that was really. They're self-described, so I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, a lot of best of Cleveland, regional and Cleveland artists that'll play outdoors. Dominic Farinacci will also play outdoors.
Oh, yeah, great trumpet player.
Yeah.
Great trumpet man.
Yeah.
241-6000 is the phone number for more information.
For tickets?
It's for tickets. That's the 216 area code. We got the number on the screen there.
Absolutely.
And you can buy tickets for any of these,
Any of the indoor
these
events,
concerts.
and you can buy passes. This year, too, if you buy 3 or more concerts, you get 20% off.
Yeah.
And the other lovely thing about this is that instead of having to go to a concert every night, the way we used to do it, you come downtown, you park for the day. I understand there are 3,500 parking spaces.
Okay.
So you come down, you park for the day, and you get to sample the great restaurants that are right there in the district, and we will also have food trucks.
I was at a couple of restaurants over the last couple of days.
They're
or so.
great, aren't they?
June the 26th through the 28th, so
Yes.
you got a long weekend.
Yes, we do.
You're gonna just fill it with jazz.
We're filling it.
Now, I've been involved with the Tri-C Jazz Fest probably since its very beginning. Well, maybe going back 30-some years at least.
35.
I even worked with Dizzy Gillespie, was here for early on.
Early on. Art Blakey was here.
Horace Silver, you know, many of the people. Ellis
The heroes.
Marsalis, worked with them over the years, on stage doing a couple of things and doing some interviews and things like that. But I know this is the premier educational jazz festival in the United States.
Yeah, it's actually probably one of the very first. And by the way, the other great thing that we're doing with the April to June is that in April, Christian McBride did come in, and he worked with students. We had students coming in from all over the region that played with their big bands and got critiqued. So we still do the educational things. And as a matter of fact, this year, our summer jazz camp will be June 23rd through the 28th. And some of the artists that are actually playing are going to teach too. So we've never lost
It's a great
sight.
thing.
Absolutely.
And this is and this gets the young folks involved in it. My grandson is a jazz trumpeter over at Shaker Heights High School.
I did not know
Will
that.
Clausen is his name. Oh,
I will remember
trumpet.
that.
I call him Trumpet Man. But anyway,
You must be very proud.
I'm very proud of him. Very proud of him. And my granddaughter is on the she's on the percussion. She plays the
that's
xylophone
great.
and the marimba and all of that at the middle school.
Music is so important because I think when kids study music, it just makes them better learners for everything in life.
But it helps all of us, doesn't it?
It
is
helps
all
every-
part
it
of our
heals
lives.
us.
I was 17 years old when I bought my first album of any kind, and it was Oscar Peterson playing West Side Story. And I'm going to tell you, I never turned back. I began with Oscar Peterson, one of the truly greats. 17 years old. Oh, I love it. So you're going to have everybody kind of tapping
Doing
their
that
toes
too.
and popping their fingers because
Yes.
that's what it's all about.
It really
Leave
is.
us with a thought on why you find the Tri-C Jazz Fest so important because you're running it now. Leave us with a thought.
I think it's important because we have such great cultural activity in this town. We have one of the best orchestras in the world. We have one of the best museums in the world. I think jazz is the most important artistic statement, period, end of story. So I think our organization gets to tell the story and gets to cultivate the audience.
And I will tell you, jazz in its many forms, it is America's classical music.
Absolutely.
America's gift to the world came right out of America.
Yep, it did.
Terry Pontremoli of the Tri-C Jazz Fest, always good to see you.
Always nice to see you, thanks.
Now that we've got the rhythm and the rhyme, let's make it rock and roll. Okay.
Great.
Thank you,
Thank you
Terry.
very
Always
much.
good to see you.
You
Such
too.
a tremendous personality right here, and she really keeps it going. We really love what you do.
Thank
What
you.
you've done over the years. Many thanks, Terry.
Okay.
Okay. Taking a break right now. Coming up, we're going to help in the fight against pancreatic cancer. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope. I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. The annual Purple Stride Walk to benefit the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network takes place on June the 21st. That's a Saturday. Mary Kay Maculin, volunteer with the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, is here. And Gail Haverdill, who is a survivor of pancreatic cancer, is with us as well. They'll talk about the mission of the organization and how you can help in the fight against pancreatic cancer. Good to have you both with us. Gail Haverdill seated next to me. Mary Kay seated on the outside. Mary Kay, let's begin with you. You're a volunteer with the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. What's the overall mission of the Action Network?
Oh, the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network is a national organization dedicated to creating hope by raising funds for research, providing patient support, working with your local communities, and advocating with the government for a cure.
And we're looking for a cure.
We are.
That would be wonderful, wouldn't it, Gail Havergill?
That would be so wonderful.
You're a cancer survivor of pancreatic cancer.
I am.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed about 1.5 years ago. And I've been through surgery and 7 months of chemo. I got about a 5-month break because everything was good, and now I'm back in chemo again for some metastases. But
How you feeling?
I feel great. I think one of the reasons is my cancer was diagnosed fairly early, which doesn't always happen with pancreatic cancer. And also I was in really good health going into this. And I also involve a lot of integrative medical practices like acupuncture that really helps me do the chemo, survive the chemo really well.
Yeah. Mary Kay, who is most at risk for this disease?
Everyone.
Everyone.
There is not enough known about the disease yet, and that's why we have our event to raise, funds for research. But really, the African American community has a bit of a higher percentage of being diagnosed, and also Ashkenazi Jewish people have a higher incident.
What about symptoms? Is there anything that shows itself early on?
Well, it's kind of why we call it the silent killer. The symptoms are very vague. It's usually like middle back pain, changes in your digestion. A lot of people wind up going to the doctor because they realize that they have jaundice, and they see the yellowing of their skin or in their eyes. But the symptoms are very vague.
So we're going to try and raise some money and certainly raise awareness along the way with this walk that's going to be at the 5K Run and Family Walk Saturday, June 21st. It's going to start at 7 o'clock in the morning at Voinovich Park, which is at East 9th Street and Lake Erie, right there next door to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's Voinovich Park on Saturday, June 21st, 7 o'clock in the morning. What do you want people to realize about this disease?
Wow, I don't know that I'm typical because I have been doing so well, and I've never really felt sick or had pain. Everyone responds to, or their symptoms are different to begin with. They respond to treatment differently. It's so very frustrating because you can't predict how the outcome is going to be, and you don't know what's coming next. You just kind of go from scan to scan to see how the disease is proceeding. And there's not really a cure unless you really can remove everything surgically, and that isn't always possible.
Well, God bless you for hanging in there, and we continue to pray for you.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about the walk now. How can people register for this walk and family run, 5K run on June 21st at Voinovich Park?
We do have a website where you can register online. It's purplestride.org/Cleveland, and online registration is open through Tuesday, June 17th. And if you don't get a chance to do that, you can always come down the day of the event and register that morning.
So people are just welcome, and even if they don't walk or run, if they just come there and just be, as we sometimes say, just come and just be there.
Right.
That is it. And you call it the Purple Stride because purple is the color, right?
Purple is the color.
That's why I'm seeing a lot of purple right opposite the table. even purple frames of your eyeglasses, Gail Havergill. I noticed that too.
It's such a fun, happy day. It's even though it's a very serious cause, it's really a happy day.
It's a happy day, a happy event, and we're going to find a cure for this one too.
Boy,
we're going to knock on this door until we do.
Yes.
That is a promise, certainly from the American people. By the way, there's a phone number I'm going to put on the screen, 877-272-6226. More information on everything we are talking about, and you can see the website there is purplestride.org/Cleveland. In our final minute, Mary Kay Maculin, leave us with a thought on why all of this is so vital that we find this cure and that we stay aware of pancreatic cancer.
Well, I think in 2014, a 6% survival rate is unacceptable. It is probably one of the deadliest cancers in the country right now, and we really need to make advances in research to change that number. And our goal right now is to double the survival rate by 2020, and that's really what we want to see happen.
And in our final 30 seconds, you would echo that sentiment, surely.
I certainly would.
So,
Yes.
But you're hanging in there, and you're doing well.
Yes, I am doing very, very well. I feel lucky and I feel blessed. I have a terrific support system that helps a lot too. Great family and friends.
Well, let me tell you that we love you.
Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you very
love
much.
you too.
Thanks for having us,
Well, it is
Leanne.
my
We
pleasure to have you
appreciate
on the
it.
broadcast. Once again, the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network holds its Purple Stride Cleveland 5K Run and Family Walk Saturday morning, June the 21st, 7 o'clock, Voinovich Park, East 9th Street and Lake Erie. You'll find it. Just look for the purple, right?
That's right.
A lot of purple there. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got to take a break. I'll be right back. Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League here with some thoughts of her own after this. The Morning Exchange segment. We've read your cards and letters saying we want more of Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, so the president and CEO is back again.
And glad to be here, Leon. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. You know, we promised our audience that we would be talking about education things over the next few weeks. So we are going to be having a number of sessions, parent training circles that we call them, to help our parents to understand what's going on in education reform. There's a lot. There's the 3rd grade reading guarantee that's going to be coming up. There's the Common Core state standards that are being implemented in schools, and parents really need to know and understand these things so they can figure out how to support their children to be successful in the midst of all these changes.
And as we've said a million times, parents are so key to a child's success in school.
Absolutely.
Because that mindset begins at home, not in the school, but in the home.
That's right. That's right. And you know, this 3rd grade reading guarantee is about making sure children are reading on grade level at the 3rd grade. Because if they're not, they will not be going to 4th grade. So that's critical. So what happens between pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, and all the way up through 3rd grade to make sure they're learning on par at each grade level and reading on grade level all along is key to making sure that they can pass that 3rd grade reading guarantee.
In our final 35 seconds, what do you want folks to do? How can the Urban League help now?
Okay, here's what we want the audience to do. First of all, we want to create literacy-rich environments at home. We want time at home where we say, let's turn off the TV, let's put down the technology, unless we're reading a book on a Kindle or something like that. So we need reading time.
Okay, that's going to do it for us. Many thanks. Words of wisdom from Marsha Maccabee. Take care. Marsha.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.